All right. Oh, is Terraform supported? Absolutely. 100% yes. AWS fully supports Terraform. Yeah. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Terraform, that's discussion for another day. Okay. But yes, 100%. So a couple of things I want to also talk about though is there's this kind of new breed of tools. I say new breed. I mean, in Amazon, these have actually been around in some cases for a very long time, but it's a new breed in the sense that a lot of people are just finding out about these things, or maybe they're just new to AWS and so they don't know about these things. These are all tools that actually leverage machine learning. They use AI. AI has kind of been the topic of conversation for a lot of people, in a lot of places for the last year or two. It's really come on the scene. That's a different kind of AI. Okay, the stuff that everybody's talking about is what we call generative AI, right? Generative AI means it's generating content, right? It's creating stuff, new works. This AI has actually been around for quite some time, is really intelligent, but it's more about things like, hey, let's identify anomalies. Let's look at something that's not normal. So, what if the system can learn what normal is in your environment? It learns, okay, every Monday morning there's this spike that happens in this capacity, and that's normal, right? But there's various things that are normal. But then what about things that aren't normal? Okay. So there's anomaly detection across the board. There's a whole bunch of services that support anomaly detection throughout AWS. Again, the beauty here is we don't have to codify these things, right? This is stuff where it's like, you want anomaly detection? Just turn it on. Okay. Now, in some of those cases, there are fees for these things. You have to be willing to pay for it, but the beauty is you don't have to do the R&D for it. You don't have to go set this up. You don't have to install anything. There's no licensing. It's usually paid for usage. Okay. So a smaller environment pays less, a bigger environment pays more, depending on how it's being used, right? Amazon Guard Duty actually analyzes your logs. It actually looks at DNS lookup logs. It looks at network logs. It looks at API logs, looks at them all together to paint a picture, and it will alert you of anomalies and things that are going on in your environment, or things that look like a specific type of attack. It'll let you know. So the thing is, no longer am I looking at purely things like network devices to look for network packets and attacks at the network level, right? We're actually looking at things from a much more intelligent perspective than that. Attackers today aren't manipulating IP packets like they once were. Now it's much more strategic attacks around leveraging services and being smarter about it to make it look more like a human being or this or that, right? So finding those things, we have to kind of match what the attackers are doing with more intelligent software.